When the crown prince and brutal civil rights denying Saudi leader Mohammed bin Salman sat down in the Oval Office with Donald Trump, Trump couldn't control himself. Trump attacked a reporter when the reporter asked about the Epstein files. Trump attacked a reporter when a reporter asked about, wait a second, this is the guy, Mohammed bin Salman, who orchestrated the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Trump is cracking under the pressure. He defended the killing of an American by Saudis, and I have never seen anything like this. Let's get right into it. Trump asked, you could release the Epstein files. Why are you waiting for Congress to do it? And Trump goes, I don't like your attitude.
Is that pretty good?
Mr. President, why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question.
You know what it means to say a journalist's question is insubordinate? It means you don't like journalism. It means you don't want to answer a real question. Trump loves questions like, how did you come up with the brilliant strategy to welcome all of these dictators into the White House? Did that occur just to you, sir? That's what Trump wants.
And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. You're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was
that was actually a lie now.
Sick pervert. And I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton. Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did.
They had kids together. I mean, just make it all up.
Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein.
They aren't president. They can't just snap their fingers today and release the files the way Trump can.
Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get me not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today. It's a hoax. Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats.
All right. So now he goes into propaganda. Trump's first instinct when asked a substantive journalistic question, you have the power. Why make the House and Senate go through all this? Just release the files if you want transparency. You're a terrible reporter. Terrible, terrible reporter. We continued, and it only got even worse. Trump was asked another really good question. You're doing business with Saudi Arabia while president. Is that a conflict? And by the way, she also asks Mohammed bin Salman about his orchestration of the brutal murder of Jamal Khashoggi. Trump interrupts and goes, who you with? Fake news, fake news.
Mr. President, is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office. Why should Americans trust you? And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news. ABC fake news. One of the
But the
worst.
question is
One of the
legitimate,
worst
sir.
in the business. But I'll answer your question.
Thank you.
I have nothing to do with the family business.
We could spend time on I have nothing to do with the family business. I don't think it's worth it. I'll just remind you to include it, that Trump's putting his businesses in a trust where he doesn't have anything to do with them. You think he doesn't know exactly what they're doing? Trump still makes money from those businesses. What he knows officially and what his kids tell him, well, we don't know. But Trump's still making money from those businesses, and he knows that he's making money. So that's a ridiculous defense. But look at Trump eager to jump in, to deflect and run interference on what is maybe one of the most important journalistic questions that could be asked when these two people come together. Sir, you are welcoming this man as if he is someone to be applauded, someone that is even tolerable in a democracy. Yet he orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist who, by the way, was American. And you're just looking the other way. Now, this continued, and unfortunately, it got worse because Trump sort of ends up defending Mohammed bin Salman in the killing of Jamal Khashoggi. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this from any American president on any issue ever. Ever.
As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question.
Now, hold on a second. Hold on a second. How many lies did Trump just squeeze into 18 seconds? First of all, Trump goes, well, Jamal Khashoggi was killed, but he was controversial. A lot of people didn't like him. It sounds like a justification for what happened. And then when Trump says this gentleman, Mohammed bin Salman, didn't have anything to do with it, Trump's own CIA determined while Trump was president that the guy sitting just a foot and a half from Trump orchestrated the entire thing. Do people realize how absolutely insane this is? Trump is sort of suggesting that Khashoggi, he kind of had it coming. I mean, he was doing journalism. He was controversial. And then, of course, Trump says, I know nothing about it, but he had nothing to do with it. But it's Trump's own CIA that said, oh, no. Mohammed bin Salman had a lot to do with it. So once again, Trump is in the position of saying, I believe a foreign dictator over my own intelligence. What a disgrace. Mohammed bin Salman did address this briefly and said it was a mistake when we killed Khashoggi. He doesn't say we.
Journalists, it's really painful to hear, anyone that been losing his life for, no real purpose or not in a legal way. And it's been painful for us in Saudi Arabia. We've did all the right steps of investigation, etc.
Yeah. Mohammed bin Salman investigated his own killing of Jamal Khashoggi and determined that, yep, a mistake was made, but that's kind of it. It was regrettable.
Saudi Arabia, and we've improved our system to be sure that nothing happened.
Yeah, we've improved the system. I am no longer allowed to order people killed. I mean, guys, I've never seen anything like this. And Trump is just nodding. They've welcomed this man to the Oval Office.
And it's painful and it's a huge mistake. And we are doing our best that this doesn't happen again.
Mr. President.
I'm going to do everything I can for this not to happen again, which I did. I ordered the killing, and we are really going to try hard so that through whatever circumstances it surfaced, it doesn't happen again. All right. Then, Trump does his usual stuff where he jokes around. I should have asked Mohammed for some ballroom money for the $300 and whatever million ballroom, but we're not taking foreign money.
And it's going to be beautiful. It's a very popular thing what we're doing. And by the way, no government funds. It's all put up private money, all private money. And in the case, I think it's there's a restriction on foreigners. Otherwise, I could have asked you just for a check, okay? But
And then finally, by the way, when has foreign money not being allowed ever stopped Trump? It hasn't. A really weird moment, Trump doing weird kind of like hand games with Mohammed bin Salman. There's like a fist bump, hand hold, just kind of weird. Everything Trump does is weird.
Mr. President.
And Trump doesn't give a fist pump. I grabbed that hand. I don't give a hell where that hand's been. I grabbed that.
I don't give a hell where that hand's been. If I had told you when Trump came down the escalator 10 years ago that we would be witnessing such a regretful moment in American history, such as what we saw in the Oval Office, I don't think anybody would have believed me. I don't think I would have believed it myself. Thanks for watching. Check out this other video. And if you like our content, make sure to subscribe so YouTube puts our videos in your feed, and subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple.